Hey guys, Bryan here from Liquid Concepts. So today we're going to talk a little bit about touch-ups. So we've had a couple of requests for touch-ups, and so we thought we'd shoot a quick little video, show you guys a few things. We've got a couple of pieces that we've already dipped. We need a little bit of touch-up on them, just on a few places for a camouflage that we're doing. And so we're going to show you a few things on what we're going to be doing for the touch-ups, whether it be with an airbrush, with a paintbrush, or even in conjunction with both. So let's get started. All right, so what we've got here is we've got a scope and some of the accessories that we have already dipped. And so one of the things is that we had a blowout that was right here. So of course we don't want to give this back to the customer looking like that. Even though it's on the edge, we got full coverage over there. For some reason we didn't get it over here. Not a big deal. We'll come back in, we'll touch that up. First thing is that we've got our film all laid out here and it is ready to go. Now I've got a cup or a little bitty thimble, whatever you want to call it, pretty much just a small amount of activator, and all this is just the straight activator right out of the can or the paint gun or whatever you're using. That's all that is just the activator. So pretty much we're going to do two different methods. Like I was saying before, we're going to have our paintbrush that we're going to dip into the activator and get the color off, and then we also have our airbrush, which is over here, and then we also have a nice little air compressor, if you will. So then that way it makes it a little bit more mobile, and then we can use this in conjunction with the paintbrush. So then that way we can go through and do multiple different types of touch-ups. This airbrush is going to be more for shading, blending, fading, things like that. And then the paintbrush itself is going to be more for exact colors. So if you look at this paintbrush right here, you can see the tip on this right here is very, very small. And so we want it to be that small for a reason, mainly because we're going to be touching up just little bitty spots just like this. And so we definitely do not want to have a really big fan brush or a big brush itself, because then it's going to make a larger spot that we're touching up. So usually you want to try to get a smaller tipped brush like this, so then that way you can get exactly where you need to be. So first thing is because we don't know what all has been on this brush before, we're going to take that and just mainly just kind of clean that out. And as you can see, we've got a little bit, looks like brown is what we had used before. So we're mainly just kind of cleaning this out, making sure that we get all the color off of that. So then that way we're ready to go with whatever color that we need after that. So then we can dip this back in, grab whatever color that we need, and then start touching this up. So we'll go ahead and start with the hardest one first, which is going to be this one right here. So looking at this, I've got two different colors that I'm going to be using. The first one is going to be from here back this way. It's going to be more of like a timber, some sort of like a darker black and gray. And then from here back that way is going to be more of a green color, because you can see where that line comes in. So we've got more of the green that we're going to pull on this side, and then more of a bark color pattern that we're going to be pulling from here over into that. And so we can see that that is actually moving and it's going this way. So I want to try to keep my brush strokes going this way as I am doing any of the touch-ups. So we'll come back into here. We'll take a look and see if we can try to find any little bit kind of grayish dark colors. And so what we'll do is we'll probably go ahead and start with maybe something a little bit lighter, maybe something somewhere around in this area right in here. It's got a little bit of darker colors in it, but it's also not like straight black, because again, we don't need straight black, we just need some darker colors. And so we got the activator on the brush itself, and sometimes you might need a little bit more activator to kind of get that to start coming off. Now that we've got that into a liquid, just like it does on the water, we'll kind of scoop all this up with the paintbrush, and then now we will come back in and do a little bit of just kind of moving around and just making sure that this color is the way that we need it to be. So this is starting to look really good. We've got the right color that we need, and now that we've got it like that, pretty much from here, we're gonna let that dry. You can see it's got a little bit of a glossy sheen to it because it's still wet. And so we want that to dry out. I'm gonna pull some of this black out of there. And then I'm going to, of course, dab that, so then that way I can clean that off because I don't want any more black on the pattern itself. So now we're moving on to the green. Again, we got the green that's gonna go right here, and it's gonna go from there down. So we'll go in here, we'll go into a green spot, which that's got a lot of green in it. So we're gonna try to focus just in this one area right here. So we'll grab a little bit more activator, throw some green onto this, and then just like before, we'll pick up all of the ink, and then we'll move on to this area right in through here. Now, I'm trying to do a much larger stroke like this, so then that way I can try to get that more in that green section like that. Now, if you'll notice, it's all colored in, but it's still not exactly perfect. And so sometimes what we're gonna have to do is that we're gonna have to do it in multiple sections. So I'm gonna let that dry for just a little bit, and then we're gonna come back and we're going to grab some more of the green, and then we're gonna give it more of a texture, which is going to make it look less like a touch-up and more like the actual pattern. So now that that's kind of dried a little bit, now I've got a little bit more darker green right here. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just going to kind of just touch this like this, and then that gives it that texture that we kind of want. And so once we have it like that, then we can start to let that dry, and it will actually start to blend in a lot better. And so I'm coming back and just kind of barely touching this to give it that little bit of texture look like what we need. And so then once we have that right there, then I'm probably going to go ahead and get this color out again, and then I'm gonna move back into this area right in here and try to go ahead and touch up some more of all of this. So we're pretty much gonna get a little bit darker color. So we'll come back into the spot that we had already grabbed from before, but we're gonna go a little bit darker with the color. So we'll take this again, grab that darker color, which we got. And then now again, if you notice, I got this black line coming in through here. So I'm gonna try to focus more on this black line right in there. So then that way it looks a lot more like it's supposed to. Like that black line comes all the way down and it finishes into this, but it still has a lighter area right in through there. So now, whenever we come back and we look at this pattern going in through here, you can see that we've got, of course, a good bark image, and then as it rolls in, we've still got that same image going all the way around, looking more like a piece of bark. And then of course we've got our green coming in through here, and everything is matching up and lining up really well. And so overall, everything looks good. So pretty much, other than this area right in through here, which again, we can come back in and we may even just airbrush this, just because you're actually going to have another piece that's going to be there and you're not going to see that, but we're probably just going to go ahead and touch that up with an airbrush. And then that way, this area is the main part that's seen, so that's what we want to look the best. This area right here, we'll come back in, airbrush that just a tiny bit, and then we'll be ready to go. So again, on something like this, you can kind of see the main focus is going to be this top section, and then this is actually the section that we just touched up. So to touch this up right here, what we've got in this airbrush is mainly just black, and you'd be surprised at how well black will actually cover up a lot of this little areas like this. But I want to say that this is actually more of a reduced down version of black. And what I mean by that is that it doesn't cover very well. So if we come over here and we look at this, whenever I go to spray it out, just spraying just a little bit of this, we can get just a little bit of black, and then we can shade it. And then if we want more, then we can continue on spraying until we get a much darker black. So coming back into here, because this area is mostly black or darker already, it doesn't have to go fully black, but we can touch up just those little areas like that and like that. So then that way they blend a lot better. Now, am I gonna say that that is as good of a touch-up as this? Absolutely not. But the main thing is that you're not even hardly gonna see any of this right here because of the way that the scope and this mount sits. So mainly I'm more or less just covering all of this up, just mainly to prevent your eye from going and seeing this little area. So we can grab that corner, and then if we wanted to, we can kind of darken that in just a little bit more. Again, I'm not going fully black with it, but I am going enough to make it to where this looks more like a regular piece, and that piece right there was not this color, and so then it doesn't draw your attention to it. So other than that, now we can get ready for clear coat, and then this piece is all finished and ready to go. So hopefully this video has really helped you out on your touch-ups. Again, not every one of them is going to touch up exactly like that. Some are gonna look better than others, but the biggest thing to remember is that you don't wanna draw your attention to the touch-up. So just like whenever I was airbrushing, it doesn't look exactly perfect, but it makes it to where if you're just looking around and the customer is looking at it, it doesn't draw their attention to this big blob that's really gray compared to this camouflage that's more of a darker black or a green, and it has all of the pretty much forest type of color. So a gray definitely stands out. So touch-ups are not always going to be the best, but the main thing is that it just draws your attention away from the actual part that needs to be touched up. So hopefully you have enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them below. We'd always love to hear from you on anything hydrographics related, as well as let me know your thoughts on how the touch-up came out, if you would have been happy with it, or if you would have done anything differently. Always love to hear from you guys on that as well. If you liked the video, hit the like button, as well as hit the subscribe button for more videos on anything hydrographics related, as well as if you're interested in getting into the hydrographics industry, definitely check out the links in the description below. We have links to the website that has everything that you're gonna need for the hydrographics, including the touch-ups, the film, the training, even the equipment that you see behind me. Everything is there on the website. So if you're looking to get into it, even with DIY dip kits, we have them all there on the website, so definitely check those out. I'm Bryan from Liquid Concepts, and this is how we customize your world. We'll see you guys next time.